All right, here we go. Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Right now, we're live on YouTube. Check us out on Amazon, iTunes, and what's another one? I don't know. Spreaker. Check us out on Spreaker. 121 place to be with Chuck Lawayne and Frank Knight. How y'all doing?
Peace, peace.
Peace, King. How you living, family? Doing pretty good.
Great, man. I was reading like y'all from New York.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. By way of a lot of other places, but yeah, Slim and Mickens, you know what I mean, our birth definitely, you know what I'm saying, takes place, you know what I'm saying, right in New York. You know
It was like I think like one of y'all from Brooklyn and one of y'all from Harlem.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So who from like you from Harlem, Frank, right?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I thought you was from Harlem. You over with the swag on, I thought you was Harlem.
Nah. You see, Chuck got the drip right now, so that's the Harlem Fly getting money right there.
That. Where you get that cup from?
Oh, you know, eBay, man, eBay.
Wait, was that the cup from the studio?
What'd you say?
That's not the cup from the studio you lost.
No, that's not that one. No, that's not the one. This one here, you know, these used to be out. This is
that's hard.
92, these came out. I remember my uncle. Remember one time way back then, he came home with one of these, and he used to save them. You know, you used to buy a mill back then. They would give you one of these. So I actually found one on eBay that was never used. You know what I'm saying? And I got to actually do a couple of these, Stockton, Pippen, Ewing, but right now I'm using Stockton right now. But you know, collectibles, man. Collectibles, making use of them. I like to use my collectibles though. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't like them just sitting for no reason.
So how just before we get started, just both of y'all kind of give me y'all stories, like your earliest memories of hip hop. I get started with Chuck.
Okay. Man, my earliest memories of hip hop pretty much starts with my father, man, to be honest with you. My parents were like in their 20s, early 20s, like in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? So I was exposed to pretty much everything that was going on back then, from style of dress, you know, to the music that was going on. But my entry was through beatboxing. I remember I had a friend in school. He was a drummer. You know what I'm saying? He used to beat on things around, teacher tell me, yo, stop this, stop that. You know, and I come from a musical background as well. But I just remember he was trying to do like a little rap, and he was like, I need you to do a beat for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how? So he showed me the how to beatbox. And that was like my first form right there. You know what I'm saying? 1993.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Frank?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, hip hop. Probably ain't got like the year solidified, but I know in the 90s, just growing up in Coney Island in the Gravesend area, my sister always loved the Bad Boy Brother. Like she could sing, so like that was when she had the aspirations of singing back then, and all I would hear is nothing just but Biggie, and then go to my cousin's house, they playing like, you know, Jay-Z and all these other cats, and then some of like the older heads, like I would hear like your Helter Skelters and stuff like that. But back then I wasn't even like familiar that it was them. Like it all just sounded like rappers to me and whatnot. But like the joint just looked so cool. And that was just like the introductory to the culture of hip hop. And then when I got into junior high school, and that's when like that whole 50 Cent wave hit, and that's when, damn, bro, that's when like it started becoming like the culture for my generation. You know what I mean? Where we was taking it to the next time, and it was inspiring us. And that's when I started getting into penning everything down and started, you know, doing my MCing thing.
So how did y'all cross paths?
The legendary DJ J Ronan.
Yeah.
Both our brother, you know what I mean? He Ronan just always knows how to organize a connection. Like it's just a gift, that one of the many gifts that brother has. So it was we was going to a Prospect Park show where Raekwon was performing, and it was Chuck was driving. It was me, Ronan, and the homie Verse, and then, you know, we was just building all off the strength of Ronan, and then it just became like an organic kinship. Then it went into friendship, the music, like, you know what I mean, just follow suit.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty much, yeah, that's definitely, yeah. So you definitely got to give a shout to Ronan. He was like the orchestrator pretty much.
That's the perfect
A
word.
lot, not just me, it's a lot of other artists in our camp, you know what I'm saying, that just that he's, locked in. He's good for that, you know what I'm saying? And with me and Frank, like we said, it took a while, because we were at different stages in music at that particular time, but over, like he said, we build it from that point forward until it just, like he said, from a musical kinship, then it became a friendship, you know what I'm saying? Then that just went it just goes hand in hand, you know what I'm saying, to fast forward to now to what we're doing with Slim and Mickens.
That's a fact, you know.
Yeah, I want to say it looked like, from where I'm seeing it, looked like Frank, you're the rapper and Chuck is the producer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Chuck be dropping bars on it. It's like you think your Pete Rock still smooth, and then you get one of them guest verses. You're like, oh, you come from behind the boards too. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Every now and again. But yeah, that's the beats. I actually started rapping, you know what I'm saying? But then beats, just falling in love with the process of making beats, pretty much carried me over to today. You know what I'm saying? I'm still, it's just the process, man. But like Frank said, every now and again, if I need to come out from behind the boards when needed, I could spit a few things here and there. I got a couple, you know what I'm saying, a couple lines or two, a line or two.
So what do you use for when you produce? Like what kind of instruments?
Mm-hmm. Well, I started pretty much software when I first started. Well, I'm still using software to a certain extent, but nowadays I'm using the MPC with the two turntables, MPC and Ableton. I started first using FL. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their comfortability, you know what I'm saying, what they do. But in the very beginning, FL was so pivotal for me. If it wasn't for software, if you look at the prices of what hardware was like around the early 2000s, I mean, it's not too many households coming from where we come from with $1,400, $1,500 as spare change, sitting around to be able to purchase those pieces of equipment. So once my cousin brought a CD home with Fruity Loops on it, and that was pretty much where it started there. So I got familiar with software, but I started to see that at a particular time the golden greats wasn't really too ecstatic about guys using software, you know what I'm saying? And me being wanting to be able to bridge that gap and be accepted by the greats, I said, let me learn hardware. So I went out at that time, I was able to buy some equipment and I went and just learned the MPC, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like no turning back. Like that's, it's good to always, I tell producers all the time, it's good to just try and find different processes because you just never know what, capabilities you could bring out, you know what I'm saying, just by learning the different softwares and hardwares that's available out there.
Mm-hmm. And then, so Frank, I want you to describe yourself as an MC.
Oh man, the best way that I could possibly describe my artistry and MCing is I believe, first off and foremost, I believe every form of music is conscious. Like even you conscious to your ignorance, like at the moment. So like, you know what I mean? I tend to hate that word, like it was conscious. I feel like, you consciously know when you putting poison out, or you consciously know when you wilding for respect. Like, you know what I mean? You just may let the emotions overwhelm, your better judgment and your logic. But I just tend to human music and truth music, like, and life experiences. I really, really pride myself in being a voice for not necessarily those who are voiceless, but for those who don't get their voices heard, because we all got voices. It's just not everybody is blessed with the platforms and the situations to speak themselves. I know it's more like in a philosophical terms that I'm answering the question, and you probably meant, like, I don't know if you meant like stylistically, but I assume that. But it's even hard to just box in stylistically, because it's just what the moment calls for. Like Slim and Mickens, it takes you on a beautiful mesh of like of a soulful realm with certain newer like style rap cadences that you get a bridge, like what Chuck was just talking about, the bridging between the hardware and the software. It's just like, you know, certain flow cadences and bring you back to nostalgic time periods, and then or it hits you with the modernized or futuristic flows, like whatever you deem it, and they show that it's just a beautiful, perfect blend and mesh, or as close as to perfect you could get, right? So yeah, like you could catch me on trap like beats, like borderline drill beats, soulful boom bap, like all that, because like I just love the culture of hip hop, like, and there's a great way to do everything, and there's a trash way to do everything. Just because you got a boom bap beat don't mean your joint fire. And just because somebody rap fast don't mean like you're a lyricist. Like you lyrical miracle in your swimming pool, that's nothing. Like it's like yeah, straight up, bro. It's like, so I just pride myself on substance. Like I'm big on like, yo, say something that means something, or you better off saying nothing. Straight up.
Always a message involved. You know what I'm saying, in everything that we do.
So all you need is Damon Wayans to just pop out message. You know?
Message. I will say,
that was Keenan, right? Yeah, that was Keenan and Wild.
I would say so.
That was Damon, yeah.
How y'all describe y'all creative process? Like, are y'all in the same room, or are you sending them beats? Like, how did that go?
Man, we definitely in the same room.
Yeah.
When we first started working together, I was sending beats. And then it was, but even before that, even outside of beats, we actually chill with each other. Like Frank is like my guy, you know what I'm saying? So even if we're not making music, that goes into us we making music even when we're not making music, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like just a couple of weeks, last week, I don't know if it was last week, but it was, you know, a couple of weeks ago, we might just go to the crib and watch anime or something like that. He might put me on.
Yo, yeah, I showed you the Akira joint. Yeah.
We just watched that. I had never seen that one. You know what I'm saying? I actually just started a little, probably like last year, getting into it. You know, but he's really up on it. You know what I'm saying? So he was helping me out with like what's what. I'm trying to, you know, figure out what to watch. You know, and you know, we might watch kung fu flicks. You know, we just chill, man. And to tell you the truth, you know, a vibe. So when it's time to sit down and make music, you know, it's really like a walk in the park, really, man. So
it's a fact. It's really about like establishing that, you know, that's just the chemistry. Like let everything organically flow. Like, cause it was like we was there to just chop it up, chill. Like Chuck always tend to travel most of the time. 90% of the time, Chuck got equipment with him. So like Chuck bought like his setup, and it was like, yo, pull up. Like I'm house sitting for my homegirl spot up in Uptown. And so like, and then we just hit the big screen, and we was watching the Akira joint, which is like a classic anime that came out in the 80s and whatnot, which pretty much is one of the things that put that in the forefront in US culture. People ain't familiar. And then then started watching the Samurai Champloo thing, and like, you know, the Nujabes, like, who was just like a legendary producer who rest in peace, who passed away like in a car accident and whatnot. But like it was just seeing how everything bridged the gap. And that's why I loved it, like even the Samurai Champloo thing, because it's the perfect mesh of like that Ronin era period with hip hop. Like and so just chilling. When we was talking about the kung fu flicks, straight up, like, you know, the Shaw Brothers type classics, like my Super Ninjas is still like the Five Elements. That's like a classic, bro. I've been watching that on VHS in the 90s, bro. Like, so yeah, like it's about to nerd out. So you might want to just hit the next question.
We take.
I got what you said. What's the name of that movie? Is it Akira?
Akira.
Akira, yeah, AKIRA.
AKIRA.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's definitely wild. I might need to actually watch that again. There's so much stuff going on in there, man. Like I'm asking him, like, what's going on here? And like, you know.
And then there was things like where it go back to the music. Like Chuck saw something, he was like, "Oh nah, that's a cover art right there."
Which is what I'm saying.
Like,
we gotta keep that tucked off though, because
I know.
I ain't gonna see what scene. I ain't gonna see what scene. I ain't gonna see what scene.
But I will say this, like this is the importance of artists working together. You know what I'm saying? Like we seen Google and Premier work. You know what I'm saying? We seen Pete and CL. We heard the music. We seen Tribe. We heard the music. You know, these classic groups. It's a, you know, and there's certain elements that you can only get while working together. You understand what I'm saying? We seen the Woo. I mean, you heard the stories about that. I mean, I just wish I was a fly on the wall in Riz's basement. You know what I'm saying? With Riz's spot is the spot, and everybody's coming through, and all of it. You know, and you hear the skits with Ghost and them watching. Come get your AVs off my mother's table. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear all of that. Like you know, and it's like, wow, this is how it's done. So we're doing nothing but following the footsteps of our, you know what I'm saying, our forefathers, so to speak. So.
Right.
And then I think you was talking about your the current project said Slim and Mickens.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know. I just got that. I actually got the Pam Grier track right before I called y'all.
Okay, how you feel about that?
I ain't even get to listen to it. It was like right before I just saw it.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. So just let us know about the project, like how long it took y'all to make it, just the background about it.
Well, yeah. So we basically, like I said before, you know, this is, although me and Frank, you know, we've been rocking for over 10 years. This is the first actual project, you know what I'm saying, that we actually, you know, completed, you know, but we've been recording music, you know, over the course of years. But how this project actually came about was through a song on the album called Goldie's Regret that I had recorded just kind of like in passing, you know what I'm saying, for myself. I didn't really have any intent with it at the particular time. But once I recorded it at a session with Frank while he was recording his project, Water of Musa. And then Frank honestly kind of took it from there, you know what I'm saying, and spawned the idea. And you know, that I said, you know what, this, I think this is it, you know, because we had a few other ideas prior to that we might still revisit in the future, but it was just perfect timing, man. Like, and he took that song and we kind of just took it from there, man. I had a couple other beats, you know. I let Frank really give you the real rundown, but a couple of, you know, about, what was that, 2018, 19 was Frank?
2018.
2018. Yeah. So that's kind of like when we started, you know, the early sessions, you know, and we picked it up over time, you know what I'm saying, to what we have right now. But I'll let Frank really give you the true details, because it's definitely it's high science involved, you know what I'm saying, behind, you know what I'm saying, the creation of Slim and Mickens. But go ahead, Frank.
Nah, that's straight up super facts right there.
Run the school.
Because where it was like during the Water of Musa, like that's a mixtape that I put out like May 2018. And we was recording sessions like in February, and that's when like Chuck came through, laid the joint down, astonished the whole room. Everybody was bugged out because like all we knew is that he produced, like, and then like now he producing flows that was just so rhythmic and just, it's a journey, it's a ride, like when you hear that joint. Like, so then down the line, 2019, that was when Ronan's wedding was. It was in September 2019 when we linked back up, because 2018, that's when I had the other project, shout out to Ridiculous Ghetto Songs of the Night. But 2019 is when we had the conversation about like, yo, like we was talking about like working. I was like, yo, that project that we was doing, like we should finish that. And then Chuck was like, he was like, I like that, but I got so much more new stuff in that I want to put in motion. So then that's when I thought about the Goldie's Regret joint that he did in 2018, and I was like, yo, we could build on this, like to get the soulful joints hitting, and Goldie's Regret. So if anybody familiar with the Blaxploitation era, the Mac, you know what I mean? So like the main character's name is John Goldie Mickens, and then the other character Richard Pryor plays is Slim. So it's like, yo, we got to do the dynamic duo. Like it's just it suits it. It's like, so we just hit the Slim and Mickens umbrella, like came up with the name, and just from that September 2019, we was recording like damn near everywhere. Like we was taking mics, setting them up in like obscure places, recorded like just making it happen. Like we had this ill dope studio in Bushwick, King Queen Studios. We recorded a lot of the project and a lot of other stuff. Shout out to the homie DJ Posca who mixed and mastered the project. And then like so then we recorded it at some spots like my crib, the King Queen Studios, the All Elements Studios, DJ Posca Studios. And the funny thing is, most of the time it was my mic. So I'm just taking this bitch everywhere, like and whatnot. Like the only spots that didn't have was like King Queen and All Element Studios just had their own like mics, but like I was muscling that joint through like borough to borough, like just because like we needed to get this done, and I'm happy for that. You know?
A lot of miles on that vehicle out there.
That's
man. Miles on my vehicle, straight up.
I'm gonna play that Pam Grier right now.
Let's get it.
Walking poetry with rhythms of the autumn leaves. You move with grace and got the strength of time to know it sees. A potent being, a chosen queen. You solar thing with lotus gleam. Your soul is clean. You hold the cream. Every photo me. That mean you gorgeous, girl. Spit game crazy. You stump with a flawless twirl. A magnanimous amethyst. I stand to spit cause your stance is lit. I talk with flyness cause your highness scared of flying, you're scared of high, you're scared of finest. You dope as my life is, yo. From molecules of piety is where your life lives. More righteous than Eve, you all four right rims. God giveth you a gift in you, is spiritual, medicinal, mystical, is symbol to ascension past physical, angelic is your visual. Heaven sent the whiff for you, pure as a blessing in a holy water mineral. Coffee, Foxy Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby. Coffee, Jackie Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby. Coffee, Foxy Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby. Coffee, Jackie Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby. 70s essence melanated with the freshness. Your complexion is the nexus of excellence. Organic goddess, supernatural as the plan of prophets. I acknowledge your vibe as Olympus meets the tropics. But raw is the government products, pushing the projects. It's more than fantasies, of course, and high notes with your optics. Your strength nurtures the weekend like you force it a Friday. Your soldier with love and a trip like the lakeshore drop a molly. These not thoughts of a Sade, your soul is fleet. The royal iron will that your spirit can control the sheep. Your life ain't easy, but you always overcome the grief. Uplift higher than the potency of the purest cocoa leaf. Euphorical, a gifted visionary, the oracle. Precious as a culture, you historical. You earn your pedestal, I stand cause you stand real. Always see you with the fan clear, the 70s pan bread. Coffee, Foxy Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby. Coffee, Jackie Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby. Coffee, Foxy Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby. Coffee, Jackie Brown. Shiva, baby, you're my lord, you're such a diva, baby.
I'm told that you are a dangerous man, a nightmare. It excites me. And I can see that I'm having an effect. My nerve. I want justice for all of them. And I want justice for all the other people whose lives are bought and sold. So that a few big shots can climb up on their back and laugh at the law and laugh at human decency. And most of all, I want justice for this man. You just take care of the justice. And I'll handle the damage myself.
You back? Yeah, I like that joint.
Thank you, fam.
Power. Good looking.
Yeah.
So what's next for y'all right now? What y'all working on next?
So the album come out January 18th, 2021. It drops on Martin Luther King Day, which is also like an ode to one of the records on there called Martin X. And then we got there's a couple more videos that's coming from the album. to like, you know, just to keep feeding the people some more dopeness. The album, the concert that we doing live with the album is February 6th, 2021, which is a Saturday. Secret location. Hit the DM, hit the link in bio. You might get situated with a placement. You know, the capacity is that we limiting that and all of that good stuff. And then, you know, throw a couple more records, maybe a few new exclusive joints that might hit the peoples. Like, we just working.
Yeah, staying busy right now, man. Definitely. Still, like I said, we still Slim and Mickens, obviously. We're gonna be rolling that pretty much from the start of this year until you know what I'm saying. Like he said, we got a couple more treats up our sleeves involving Slim and Mickens. Definitely look forward for more of me and Frank on a few other projects. I'm gonna probably this year definitely try to work on a solo joint. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple other artists that I'm working with as well. Out of Harlem, Jay Prezi, one of my, you know, closest companions as well. You know what I'm saying? We working definitely heavily on him. We had a record that was out a couple of years ago. It's called New York Shit. I don't know if you were familiar with that one. But we Flex played it a couple of times. Featuring Harlem Beans, Cool G Mims, videos out. You can stream that as well. But I'm just working close, man, with my comrades, man. Son of Tony, I just did a record with him called Iron Heart on his album that just came out on January the 8th called Sun on a Sunday. Son of Tony's from Buffalo, the same area as Griselda, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of talent in the New York State, man. So we just really trying to rep, you know what I'm saying, and put our best foot forward, you know what I'm saying, and and hold it down. So
there's also, you got that project with Keys, you said?
Yeah, my cousin Marquise. Yeah. That's Low and Tuck too. I got a project with an artist by the name of Marquise, out of Oakland, California. You know what I'm saying? That's actually my blood cousin. You know what I'm saying? He's actually a lot more than just my blood cousin. But we're gonna leave that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let him tell his story. But be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying? We actually we did a couple of songs. He did a project back in 2011. And kind of just went low right after that. You know what I'm saying? But now we locking back in with each other. You know what I'm saying? So just look out for it, man. I can't really, you know what I'm saying? We on Slim and Mickens time, but right now, but definitely 2021 and beyond is going to be a busy year. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing. So
yeah, what are some of your y'all interests outside of music?
Right.
All right, so I love like I was a big movie goer, you know, before the world went through what it was. Like just mentioning like, yo, I love anime. I love just seeing artistic visual artists express themselves. And it's hard because everything ties into music for me. Like I do event organizing as well because I also prefer to provide platforms for other artists. Who, going back again, just so people have those platforms so their voices can be heard. That's something that's really, really, really big and important to me, just to be able to give back and contribute, especially because a lot of these promoters, they don't know what it's like to be an artist, or if they were artists, they're not really genuine to the craft, or they somehow forgot like the struggles, the tribulations, like the things that artists go through, and they try to siphon and take advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like my whole goal is like to just be able to provide those platforms, but also like preferring watching like nostalgic stuff that resonated with my childhood for some reason. Like I just been really looking back to things like even like when I was younger, I was a big WWF like fan and whatnot. So like sometimes I catch myself on YouTube like watching like old matches, old promos from like Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, The Rock, like Stone Cold. Just like,
Ravishing Rick. That's one of my.
Ain't that Nikita Koloff on your shirt?
huh?
Who's that on your shirt? You like it's wrestling on your shirt.
Roman. What's his name? I can't pronounce his man's last name. Shout out to the homie, the Fly Hooligan over in London. This is actually from his project, Roman Abram, I can't pronounce that man last name. It's like Abraham, like it starts to sound, and then it go into some other shit. But Fly Hooligan, like he and Gourmet Deluxe, like which is a pretty dope collective out there in the UK. That's the bro. See, I always try to support my friends and whatnot. So like I just be rocking the homie stuff. But yeah, like just outside of music, man, like that's pretty much that. Like I enjoy just hanging out with my peoples, catching up, shooting the shits, talking shit, cracking jokes. Like I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. Like that's pretty much that.
Me, man, I like to still, well, like he said, before the world changed, my thing was digging, record digging, you know what I'm saying? And that really just kind of centered around me just being a history buff. If I'm not making music, I'm actually preparing somewhere else to make music, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's that's watching, like the old, I'll sit back and watch an old newscast, a random newscast from a random year just to see what was going on, wherever. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm just fascinated with, with time, to be honest with you, and how time changes and, in different time periods, and moving, just digging back and moving forward. You understand what I'm saying? That's really a concept. So if whatever that may be, whether it's going to dig for old records, I'm always just fascinated with just trying to see how I could dig back in time and move it forward from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what I use outside of my everyday life, you know what I'm saying, to do music. You know what I'm saying? Most of it is, since we've been quarantined, I've just been spending a lot of time, you know what I'm saying, with my family, to be honest with you, with my son and my girl. So, like simple, man, family things, man. It's not, it's COVID's out there, man. Simplify your life. Simplify your life, man. That's like you said, like that's really your best bet right about now. So
hold up, I just peeped. Like you got the comics. Is that the Muhammad Ali versus Superman joint? Yeah. So like, all right, that's fine. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I asked my stepson. I was like, who you think won that fight, Muhammad Ali or Superman? He said Superman. I said, all right. Well, I said we finna fight right now. I'm gonna be Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. I see. That's it. You ever watch the full fight? That's another thing. I feverishly watch old boxing matches, like a few of them every night, man. Like I'm a.
I love I got some of my favorites on there. But yeah, I watched all that shit.
Yeah, man.
I used to go to sleep on it. I used to just let the shit play while I was asleep.
I still do, man.
Yeah.
Watching Roger Mayweather the other night. You know what I'm saying? He had watching that long jab. He could land it from anywhere. Yeah, man. Like that's another thing. Boxing. Watching the fighters, and that's also music as well. You know what I'm saying? Boxing styles make fights. Everybody's got their own different style. And you can see how it's affected the fight. It's a thinking man's game in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We was watching, what was that? Spinks and Ali 2. And if Spinks and Ali 2, Spinks, like that, Ali was way past his prime in that particular fight. And people, want to make jokes about Leon Spinks, but Spinks, you watch that fight, like in his day, Spinks was a bull. You know what I'm saying? He was a young bull. And Ali danced the whole entire fight at 30 something years old. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see a heavyweight and dance that long, but that was the only way he could have won that fight. It's the only, and he pulled it out. You know what I'm saying? If he would have stood toe to toe with him, he wouldn't be able to stand a chance. You know what I'm saying? So, but that endurance, you have to, dedicate yourself. And I'm not a boxer by any stretch of well, let me not undersell myself. I don't professionally box. You understand what I'm saying? But just understanding that, you know what I'm saying, understanding other professions definitely help, in my maturation in the music process. You know what I'm saying? So,
what do y'all think is a good business to start right now?
Say that one more time.
What's a good business to start?
A good business?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, honestly, it's crazy. I've been seeing a lot of I think a lot of holistic stuff is thriving, especially because this is a year of health. You know what I mean? Like over this was 2020. So like a lot of these, like you've been seeing, like the Dr. Sebi stuff has become more mainstream, things of that nature. But like, I just been seeing a lot of independent, holistic communities thriving. Like this tea I was drinking, I was at like it was made by this brother who I think his IG is Blue Remedy 718, and I met him at a pop-up shop, and he sells like all his own like healing like oils for like the bed and stuff. I need to get some because like my joint looking crazy right now.
I might need the same thing.
But like he sells all the he got his own like tea packs that where he picks like certain herbs and like he puts like the vitalities, abilities, and things of that nature. So and then just seeing like a lot of these healthy smoothies, and you've been seeing like the CBD oils, and so I just really feel like a lot of the holistic stuff is a really great business field to thrive in. But even seeing independent clothing companies like thrive. Like one of my homegirls, like she told me, she was like, "Yo, what you call it?" She's like, when COVID happened, she lost a job like at the big flagship Puma store, and she was like heavily like big in that store, but like situation happened, and she was like, "Yo, screw this! I always have my own passion for clothes." And she been just guerrilla marketing and making bread, selling her own custom things, and like she automatically tailors like a fit for you. So it's not like, yo, you just getting like, she hits me DM like, "What's your favorite color?" It's like what you want, and so it's just ill like that. So the entrepreneurial spirit is like, I just feel like, yo, whatever way, like if you just got the if you got the drive, like your business will just thrive, like regardless. But I'm gonna just say holistic stuff. Like I just see it's like that big thing that it's just easier to see that being put on the forefront and gaining more traction because people want things. They want the CBD oils. Like everybody, mama got back pains and foot pains and shit like that. Like you know what I mean? So like, yo, rub that joint on me. You know what I mean? And
my daughter's actually into that right now.
But the holistic stuff?
Holistic, yeah. We were just on the phone today, and she was telling me, that was something that she was looking into. You know what I'm saying? Like she had, a little acne. You know what I'm saying? That started to show up in different places, and she first started using it on herself. You know what I'm saying? When she saw the difference, then she showed me the whole business plan and was telling me how she wanted to do it. And I was like, I'm definitely as a father, definitely gonna help her, bring that out. But in this day, especially at this time, definitely, I would personally advise anybody, business is not for everybody. For one, you know what I'm saying? But if you do have a talent and a passion, you know what I'm saying, that's always the great business and the great move to start whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Because for one, not only are you giving something to the public, not only are you fulfilling the need for the public, you also fulfilling yourself, you know what I'm saying, and your own passion, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's, that's, you could reap rewards in that, or if it's not, even if it's not monetary, that's a great reward to reap as well, you know what I'm saying? So.
I would say even like how you, like when you were saying business is not for everybody, I was thinking like the only reason it's not because like, we just like, especially us, is like sometimes you're not raised to think like that. Like you be raised to think like I'm gonna get a job. So if you get raised when you little, what business can you do? Entrepreneur shit. Then
Yeah, and sometimes and there's nothing wrong. See, that's the thing. Like it's a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? People come across, and that's when you see people doing this and they doing that. You know what I'm saying? But and a lot of us were raised like that. You know what I'm saying? In the household. So there's no knock on anybody, you know what I'm saying, that can't start a business. But if you want to start one, there's always a way, you know what I'm saying, even if you wasn't raised that, with that entrepreneurial spirit. That's also something that, if you're not born with it, you might not know necessarily that you're born with it, but you just discover it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me in particular with music, this has always been something that once I figured out I was good at it, I said, wow, maybe this is something that, I could probably make a way, for not only me, but somebody else, you know what I'm saying, my family and whatnot, you understand? And then you start seeing, but it starts from a passion. That's where it always starts from. If you have a passion, you could, man, that's pretty much what business is, turning your passion into a business, you know what I'm saying?
Turning your passion to a profit,
Exactly, man. And, and that's pretty much, if you start from there, man, you can learn anything else. That's the thing. Long as you can learn, if you have the ability to learn, it really doesn't matter. At least in my eyes, it doesn't matter what family background you were born in. You understand what I mean? You have ability to learn, you could go anywhere, man. You could go anywhere with it. So
Yep. You come with that drive that I definitely feel that most people need, right? Like, because even those creatives who weren't raised with that, a lot of them like already got that rebellious spirit, knowing that this ain't for me. Like, my calling is more. Like, when you got that little spark and things like that, I feel you'll make that adjustment. I do believe like, this should be working beats. I just feel that nobody should just like, if that's what you're comfortable with, if that's your comfort zone, then by all means, you like it, I love it, I don't think nothing of it. But at the end of the day, is a lot of people aren't taught to progress past where they at or inspired enough to progress where you at, because that's really what it comes down to, right? Just being inspired. Some people like, I'm comfortable here, I don't want to do more. But when you put the doubt on people, like, that's all you can do, that's the problem. It's like never limit your ability, like, straight up.
Hello.
Then what would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
Man, just continue to strive, man. Like I said, let's do our music. We like to basically stay in the pocket of a message. There's always a message involved. You know what I'm saying? So as far as people that support and listening, just continue to support, continue to listen, man. We out here to fulfill a need. You know what I'm saying? And hold on one second, man. Frank, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I got you right now. I got you. So, like, if there's anything that I could definitely say to the supporters and whatnot, is always understand that your life has a purpose, and continue to just do what makes you happy. Like, even I know we worried about like financial gain and things of that nature, but take time for yourself. If there's anything that this year that just passed has taught us anything, it was, to me, the blessing in disguise. It was like, God just sat you down. It was like, you got to tend to that person that you always neglect, and that's yourself. At times we just be on the road so much. We just keep moving. I'm like, I'm going to do what I need to do for me, like, in a few, but like, you just keep going. So that year, it shut everything down. It sat everybody down to come face to face with their biggest opponent, which is your self-doubt, your self-insecurities, like conquering your demons and embracing your angels. Like, the one thing, like, one of the other things I'm gonna say is like, they call your demons. That means you own them, my nigga. So you could put them in a cage. I would never let anything I own oppress me. And that's where that's what it is. Like, nobody has power over you until you give it to them. And that's it. Like, that's just, so remember that. Oh yeah, and get that Slim and Mickens album, January 18th, 2021. Go to franknizza.com, FrankKnizza.com to go get that album. You can pre-order it right now. And just stay tuned for everything we do. You can follow me at Frank Nizza, FrankKnizza. Follow the official Slim and Mickens page, which is the official, the letter SXM on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And on Frank Nizza, you can follow me again on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Pornhub, all that stuff. We out here.
They say Pornhub.
Look, bro, that ass, I'm verified on Pornhub.
That's crazy. And you can follow me at Chuck Lawayne _135 on Instagram and on Twitter at Chuck Lawayne. Stay live for updates for what's coming up next for 2021. Like I said, it's gonna be a busy year. So
I want to say thanks for coming through politicking with me.
Good looking, man. Good looking. Thanks for having us, man. Thanks for having us. We appreciate that.
Always appreciate the